Hello everyone and happy Memorial Day. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different. It's Memorial Day is just a few days away. My name's Dickenson. I sell real estate in northern Arizona, Sedona, Verde Valley, Flagstaff, but I'm not talking about real estate today. If you want to talk to me about real estate, my contact information is below in the description and you can always contact me later. My channel is Living in Northern Arizona, where I talk about all things pertaining to living in the beautiful state of Arizona and particularly the northern half. Now today's video, I wasn't planning to do this, but on the news this morning I see a fifth person in the last 5 weeks has died at Lake Pleasant. So I was going to give you a little bit of information on what's going on at Lake Pleasant and maybe a little bit of some boating safety tips, which you probably already know, but it's always good to have a reminder. And then at the end, if I can handle talking about it, I will tell you what it is like to be out for a beautiful day trip at the lake and have somebody in your party die. Okay, so this is why it's so serious. Okay, so we're going to go back to Lake Pleasant. Now, I have been at Lake Pleasant before. My family have had boats for almost my whole life. I don't have one now, but since I was a child up until recently, I always had a boat and spent many hours on the lakes in the Valley of the Sun, and also Lake Powell, which is my favorite lake, but many times at Apache Lake, Lake Pleasant, Canyon Lake, Saguaro Lake. So I am very familiar with the Arizona lakes. And I'm going to tell you, Lake Pleasant, I never found very pleasant. I never really liked going to Lake Pleasant. For one, it was on the far west side of town, and I always lived on the east side of town. But I don't know, I never got a good vibe at Lake Pleasant. But I'm going to tell you right now about 5 incidents where people have died each week for the last 5 weeks in a row. And that's just recently. I mean, over the years, it seems like Lake Pleasant has a higher than proportionately normal amount of deaths compared to the other lakes. So we're going to go back to April 24th, where they found the body of a 20-year-old. I'm not sure if it was male or female who had drowned. They found the body 21 feet below the surface at Lake Pleasant. So this is kind of a start of a horrible trend, which I hope we do not continue into Memorial Day. So May 1st, they found a body of an unidentified male. I don't know if they've identified this person, but my source at the time showed it as an unidentified male near Jet Ski Port. Again, didn't spend a lot of time at Lake Pleasant, so I'm not familiar with their landmarks. On May 8th, an 83-year-old woman was thrown from the boat and died. And on May 15th, they found an 18-year-old man had gone out swimming. He went under the water and never resurfaced, and they found his body later on. He had drowned. And now, just the other day, like I think it was May 22nd, which is a sad day for me because it's the anniversary of my father's passing. So already May 22nd to me seems cursed, when a 32-year-old woman was out on the boat, somehow got into the water, the boat propeller cut off her leg, and she bled to death. So this is 5 incidents in a row. Now, I don't want to tell you don't go to Lake Pleasant over Memorial Day, because I know that's silly, but if I'm going on the boat, it's not going to be Lake Pleasant. Now, let me go back a little bit further and talk about Lake Pleasant. Now, there is an instance, a couple of incidents many years ago that I was not able to find, but I didn't look very hard, where some kid had been swimming and had encountered a bacteria. There was some bacteria in the water, and the kid eventually got sick and died. He may not have been the other one. That's just off the top of my head. I remember back in February, 3 people were out in a canoe. It capsized and 2 of them died. 1 was injured. This is just last February. And in July 2020, there were 2 people that died, somehow were in the water and ended up electrocuted. So to me, I'm already thinking Lake Pleasant is cursed and I would never go there. But again, maybe I'm a little bit superstitious, but the purpose of me telling you this is if you are going out on any of the lakes, there are just a couple of things you need to keep in mind. One is if you're going on a boat, make sure every single person on the boat has a life jacket. Even if they don't wear it on the boat, there has to be legally a life vest for each person on the boat, and it is a good idea to be wearing it. Now, in addition to the life jacket, you need one of those square floaty floaty things. You know, they have the two handles and it's square so that you can throw it out to somebody if they're in trouble. You need that on the boat, and of course always a fire extinguisher. So before you go out, make sure you've got those things for your trip. The second thing, of course, this is a no-brainer, but yet when you're out in the lake and you're drinking, you don't think of this. Don't drive the boat when you're drunk. Again, no-brainer, but you know, you're drinking and it's hot, you're getting dehydrated, so now you're more drunk than you might be normally. So just be careful about the drinking and the boating. Now, another no-brainer, but yet I see people do this, is this: unless you have an open bow boat, do not ride on the bow of the boat, because, you know, any bump, you slip down, you're dead. You're going to get hit by the propeller, you're going to get hit by the hull of the boat. Don't ride on the bow unless you have an open bow boat. So those are probably the top safety tips. Again, one more thing my family always did is if it's super crowded at the lake, don't go water skiing. You know, trouble could happen if you're water skiing. I remember an incident once I heard about as a kid where there was somebody water skiing. So, you know, you have the boat here, the skier here, waiting, and a third boat had driven between the boat and the skier, caught on the rope, and nobody died. But, you know, that's kind of stuff that can happen if there are too many boats on the water, and you know there will be. I remember when I would go to the lakes, and this was back in the 80s, if Saguaro Lake, for instance, if you weren't on the water by 8, they closed the ramp. They close it because there's too many boats were on capacity. Now try to water ski when you've got so many people on the lake that they've closed the lake. So again, just common sense, be careful, wear your life jacket, and hopefully it will be okay. I'm not a fan of Lake Pleasant, but again, you know, it's just not mine. My favorite lake, of course, is Lake Powell, where that is a big lake, although right now the water is very low. So let me tell you what happened back in about 1974. So my family and my dad's best friend was Juan. He had kids my age. We would often go to Canyon Lake. We would camp out on the shore. We had one of those 12-foot aluminum boats. My dad and Juan would go out and we'd hang out, have a picnic, go swimming in the little shore. One day we had a third family come with us. I know the names because it's etched into my brain, but I'm not going to share that with you because I have not been in touch with this family since this happened. So the one family had 3 boys, the other family had 3, and then there was my brother and I. This was before my sister was born. We're hanging out at the lake. Suddenly one of the boys they can't find. So, you know, I'm 10, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I see in the background, you know, my dad's come back. My dad and the 2 other dads are kind of huddled. I'm like, what's going on, Mom? You know, oh, it's okay. Nothing, we're just looking for David. And then, you know, the sheriff shows up. And then you see helicopters flying. And then you see the frogman go out and they're diving in the water. And then you realize that the kid that you were just hanging out talking to an hour ago is who they are looking for. And to watch the frogman come up and find out later, late in the evening, because sometimes it takes, you know, hours before they find the victim, and then to find out that the little boy you were just talking to has been found dead in the bottom of the lake is very disturbing. So you do not want to go there. You do not ever want this to happen to you, because it's sad, and it's sad for everyone involved. So be careful at the lake. You don't want to have your mother say, Dawn, do you know what dead means? I mean, I swear I remember that. Do you know what dead means? Holy crap, you know? Don't let this happen to you. Be safe at the lake. Wear your life jacket. Now, accidents still can happen when you're totally safe, but it's going to be very crowded. Be safe. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully all of you will come back here next week for my next video, Living in Northern Arizona. Happy Memorial Day, guys.